doing, why we are doing, and if that thing means something to us, then we will do it properly, or then we'll be more determined or more enthusiastic to do it. That is what we have to understand. So, is there any one common goal which I think we can take here is that everybody wants to progress somehow or other. Wherever we are, we want to progress ahead in spiritual life, right? We all may be at our own stage and we all have our own struggle, but we all want to do something, act in such a way that we can at least start going little move ahead in spiritual life also. Chant well, associate, read scriptures. So what are the activities which one can think of in your life on the path of devotional service which we should develop enthusiasm, knowing that it is good for us? What are those activities? Chanting.
Chanting.
Eagerness to see our deities.
Eagerness to serve deities.
Oh, see.
See deities.
Because sometimes it's for non-initiated, we can't.
Okay. This is important. So we'll just take few of the practical examples what we can do it in our life. Eagerness to see deities. Nowadays, various temples have all the sites where you have daily darshans. Right? You sit here and you can have all darshan of Alachua temple and LA temple and everything. So it's nice. You open up and so is it important that you go sometimes to the temple also and see the deities, or you are having darshan on net? All Lord is same whether you sit in the picture or whether you see the deities. So is it good enough? Firstly, is it important to see the deities?
Yeah.
Why?
It's Krishna.
It's Krishna. Because if we will not see or engage our eyes into seeing something beautiful as Krishna or like deities, we are going to be enthusiastic, or slowly we want to see something good. Our tendency is going to take us to see something other materialistic thing good, which is going to take us away from Krishna. Scripture give example of some person or something dragged by the attraction of the eyes or something good vision, it kills them or destroys them. What is that example? When you are just dragged by your desire to see something, or you're very enthusiastic about seeing or satisfying your eyes, but it finally is being material, destroys you. What is that example? Whose example you can think of?
Looking at the deer.
Looking at?
The deer, the golden deer.
Golden deer. You're talking about Sita?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking about Ashamil. Srim Bhagavatam, chapter 6. Ashamil.
Ajamil.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, scripture give an analogy. What I was asking is an analogy that if you have seen moth, what does moth? How does moth act when it
light and
light? Whenever it sees a light or a flame, or if you see a candle which is burning, they just are so much attracted by the seeing ability or by the vision that they go right away, and they finally, what happens to them? They burn themselves. So this is what is that if we do not satisfy our eyes with something good, we are going to finally do something wrong. That is why we should be eager to see the deities. But is it not enough just to see the deities on net, or we need to go sometimes to temple also?
We need to go.
Why?
Because of association, like when we go, like there are other devotees as well coming, so we get like association as well. If we see on the internet, we don't get association of the devotees.
When we see deity in the temple, we feel good from the heart, and on the
How doesn't come? One thing we should always remember, that we are not only going to see the deity, or we just don't want to see the deities. We also want to show ourselves to deity, not that show, but a father is also happy to see the child. When we understand that Lord is personally present in Kirchor Gopinath is there, present in the temple, I can sit at home and just have darshan on the pictures. But will my Lord not be happy when I go and personally be present in front of Him? When we think from Lord's perspective as a person, we'll be enthusiastic to go and see the yes.
Well, what happens, like, when we offer milk in the morning and we're seeing Him, so at that point He doesn't see us? He only sees us in the temple?
So it is like we can talk to our parents on phone sometimes, but it's not enough. Once in a while we go and talk, once in a while we go and see, right? He accepts, He is there in everywhere. Like that way we can say that Lord is there everywhere. Why in front of deities? We can actually put Rasgulla in front of the air. He is there. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantam Vastam. He is there in every atom. So why can't I just offer here in the air? But there is no how. But here what I am saying is when we understand the Lord as a person, we will be enthusiastic to go to temple. Lord Chaitanya himself was very enthusiastic always to go and see Lord Jagannath. Every single day he would go and see Lord Jagannath. But he was so much, his enthusiasm and his vow for seeing the Lord was so much that when you go to the temple of Lord Jagannath, at a distance there was a Garuda Stamba. If he goes in front of Garuda Stamba, like closer to the deities, he would faint out of ecstasy. And that a rule was made that he should just stand at Garuda Stamba, he should not go. That much should be an eagerness, because without eagerness, one cannot be successful in life. So that is, in our devotional life, we should be enthusiastic to go and see deities. Next, we should have enthusiasm of reading. Why we should read? Yeah?
It gives us knowledge of the scriptures, and without knowledge of the scriptures, you can't really chant, because then you'll be like, why am I just chanting? I can do something else.
Yeah. Okay, so it will deepen your faith. Anything else? Why we should read the scriptures? So that we can give good classes.
You get to know about wonderful devotees, right?
Yes.
Get to know about them.
Yeah, you get to know about the devotees. Yeah, you want to say something?
Yeah, you're actually like associating with the author and whoever's reading. You're actually, associating. That's also part of association, right? Like,
Yeah.
their thoughts, everything that powers in that book, right? So whatever you're reading is like, it's as if, Prabhupada is there and, reading this to you. So it's direct association.
Correct. It is through Prabhupada's book we can associate with Srila Prabhupada. But I was just like, in my early days I used to think that if you tell me to go and read, I personally used to feel very boring. But if you tell me come and chant and dance in the kirtan, it's so nice. Right? It's so nice. But at the end of reading all the scripture, what does the scripture say? What is the Yuga Dharma? Chant and be happy. So why don't we just chant instead of reading books? Instead of 1 hour every day reading, or I can just do a jumping dancing kirtan. Is it not? That is the Yuga Dharma. And at the end of reading books, the message is that you have to read, you have to chant and do kirtan, sankirtan. So why do I need to chant? Why do I need to read?
Like Mataji was explaining in the morning, we need to know where we are going. The descriptions of the spiritual world, descriptions of the devotees and their stories, which can help motivate us and basically show us what is the result of chanting, like what can happen and what are the benefits.
Correct. In our life, we all have this carrot mentality. You have to know what is in it for me. Then it motivates us. Yes, Kishori Mataji.
It helps when we are out preaching Krishna's name and distributing books. It helps us to solidify our own faith and to explain to other people what we believe in. Because it's very hard to explain, we just chant. For what doesn't matter.
If we don't read, then we speculate.
Correct. Right? Yes. So first, definitely. So basically it gives us knowledge. The importance is that Prabhupada's books are not filled with information. Information is there in Google. Google is information. Google God. Right? Yeah, Shri Google. Right? But Prabhupada's books, if you read, there is difference. And that difference is, there is transformation. By reading Google or by just getting information, the heart doesn't change. But when we are enthusiastic to read Prabhupada's book, as Mataji was saying, we can actually associate with Prabhupada. We will know why we are doing what we are doing, and then we can have consistency of faith. And then actually what we can reach is, we develop a steady faith, or maybe when the faith which is increasing in life. Yes?
Once I read a quote by Prabhupada, he said something like, philosophy means to keep death in front of our eyes. Like, so we always keep this awareness, the goal, and
Death.
keep conscious, yeah.
This is the real thing. Keep death in front of your eyes. Okay, so Prabhupada said another thing once, that those who will distribute my books will stay happy. And that's why you see Jessica always happy. Right? But Prabhupada said the next sentence. Those who distribute my books will stay happy, but those who will read my book will stay. Right? So it's not just enough to go and distribute books, but it's also very important to read it and develop that faith which will ground us. Over a period of time, when we see a tree growing, when a small plant comes out, and then we start watering and it starts growing big tree, what is happening above the ground is that the tree is really growing big, lot of extra. But what is happening along with that below ground?
The roots are spreading.
The roots are going deeper and down, and they are also becoming strong. If the roots are not going to become strong, the tree might grow, but it cannot sustain itself for a longer period of time. Any small, little bit of tornado, little bit of wind, breeze which comes little strongly, it's going to grow. So when we read and understand the philosophy, it will take us deep. When we do services, we feel happy because we are seeing in front of everybody, everybody appreciates us, but there is a tree which is growing out. But chanting and reading books is a thing which is growing down, making the roots strong. And that is why one has to be very enthusiastic for these two things in life. Reading or understanding the philosophy, and second is chanting. Reading does not mean that you only like read Prabhupada's books, but also it can be that you hear from realized souls. Because when they give you understanding on how Prabhupada says, what Prabhupada says, that hearing makes us understand that subject matter much more deeply. Few more things which are important, for which we should have enthusiasm to.
Devotee association.
Association. Association is most important. Why? Morning also Mataji mentioned that thing, right? Association is the most important part of spiritual life. Is it more important or chanting is more important?
Both together.
Association
Gives you faith.
Association
Keeps you
gives you
chanting.
faith. Yes. Because without association, we cannot go to jungle and think that I will chant. Slowly our mind will start, instead of chanting, saying can't. Because we are not yet at that level Paramhamsa that we alone without association can maintain our devotional service. So association and chanting both are important, but if one has to be picked up, it's association. With association we will increase chanting or we'll start chanting if we are not. But if we do not have association, we'll stop if we are just chanting. So association is very important. Association in form of association of
Books,
books,
devotees,
association of
devotees.
association of lords in different way. Like when you go to Dham, when you go to serve the deities, or when you see the deities, that is association of the Lord. Any other reasons why or how what should be important part of the association?
Associating with the right.
Yes. Morning we had a discussion that what is a good association, so that is important part which we should always remember, that association does not mean going and sitting in association of those who are wearing tilak and kantimala or saying Jai Jai, but to take association which takes us one step ahead in Krishna consciousness. That is association. Right? Otherwise we are wasting time and energy of ours. Anything else about association? Yes, Manjari.
Always try to serve the devotees, not just associate, but do something.
So that is the next thing, that we should serve the deities, the Lord and the devotees. So I'm just going to tell one small story about serving the devotees. We all have some spiritual guide, or sometimes we are very attached to some of the senior devotees and things like that, and then we always want that, we can get their association and we can serve them. But Srila Prabhupada and scriptures tell us that we should be equally enthusiastic to serve every single person, even that person may be a neophyte devotee or maybe like just starting Krishna consciousness. NOI, Nectar of Instruction, says that a person who has even started chanting even once should be respected as a devotee. But generally the tendency is that we want big devotees or high profile devotees to serve them, right? So there was a Acharya, his name is Ramanujacharya. You have heard of Ramanujacharya? He is the Acharya of Shri Sampradaya. So Ramanujacharya once, when he was mainly in south, so once he was visiting a place, so he sent one of the disciples to the house of his another disciple who was staying in that village, that Guru Maharaj is going to come tomorrow and he is going to be gracing your place. So when he reached to this house of the disciple who was very rich, and he had all the facilities, as soon as he got this message from Ramanujacharya's servant, personal servant, that Guru Maharaj is coming the next day, he was so enthusiastic that immediately he started making all the arrangements. How he will sit and what will be cooked and what will be served and what type of flowers we should have, and he was very enthusiastic. He just started making a lot of preparation. So he went back, and then Ramanujacharya asked him that how was it? How was his response? So he said that as soon as he heard, he was so enthusiastic that he started making the preparations. And Ramanujacharya asked him that what was he? How did he treat you? And this person said, the servant said that nothing. I just told him, and he just started making preparations for tomorrow. So Ramanujacharya said, now go to my another disciple who was very poor, staying in the same village, and tell him that tomorrow I am going to come to your house. So this servant goes and tells this another disciple who was very poor. And as soon as he goes and meets this devotee and says that tomorrow Guru Maharaj is going to come to your place, this person is so happy. He first tells him, you first come inside. I know that you are the personal servant of our Guru Maharaj and you are so fortunate. Let me serve you. And he brought him inside and started serving him by sweet words, giving him a place to sit, asking him if I can offer you something. And when Ramanujacharya got this report, he said that I would go to this person's house. And that is a lesson which Ramanujacharya or the scriptures give us, that we should not be enthusiastic only to serve some particular type of devotee. We should serve all devotees with equal enthusiasm. Enthusiasm should not be discriminative like